Hey everyone, I want to talk to you today really quickly about being safe as you are performing real estate duties. So some of you may have heard that last Saturday on June 20th, there was a horrific attack of a real estate agent in the Virginia area. This attack actually occurred at an open house, and so my tips today are going to be specific to the time we're in right now as we're not hosting open houses. But I do think it's important for you to understand what happened to her and then to talk about some things that we can be doing to make sure that we're safe at all times. If you are one that feels like this isn't an issue for you, I want to let you know that I have had conversations with male agents who found themselves in uncomfortable positions. And so this applies to everyone. It's very important that we're always keeping our mind frame to keeping ourselves safe. So the situation with this agent specifically is that she was hosting an open house. A gentleman came in. He walked through the home. He even signed into her guest book with his real name, phone number, talked to her about his kids, had some really good conversations. At which point another couple came in and he left the house. They're not quite sure what happened during the time he was gone, but when the couple that was there left, he came back in and advised the agent that he had left his cell phone in the basement, at which point he violently attacked this agent. This agent did not know him and was a double black belt, and so she was able to fight him off pretty well, but she is in very critical condition. They have caught him and they have absolutely no idea the motivation behind it. This story isn't to scare you, but it's cases like this that remind us that we need to take our safety seriously, especially in my mind, as we're meeting people not through our sphere of influence and or through referrals from our sphere of influence, but now we're meeting more and more people who saw us online at some point and reached out. So I just want to give you a couple of tips and then also let you know that I'm going to be doing a safety class soon. I'm working on the schedule now to figure out where that's going to best fit. But I will be doing that, of different things that you can do to keep yourself safe, but also your homeowner safe when it's your listing. So specifically to now, not talking about open houses, since that's not something that most of us can do at this moment, it is not inappropriate for you to ask somebody for a copy of their ID. They can text that to you, and that way when you show up at the property, if the person that's there doesn't match what they sent you, you have kind of a warning that something isn't right. The other thing that you can do is do a social search of them. So once you know their name, look them up on places like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and just get a general feel for who they are, what they look like, and if there's anything that gives you a red flag to your safety, any kind of threatening posts or things of that nature. Make sure someone always knows where you're going to be. This is a big deal. As we schedule showings, sometimes we just take it for granted that this is our job and it's what we do, but make sure someone knows where you're going to be. There is a product out there called Guard Llama. Guard Llama alerts somebody that you've designated as your emergency contact, but also alerts the police to your exact GPS location. And it's not your cell phone, so it's a button that you can hold while you're in a property, and then you would click that button if at any given point you had an issue. In addition to clicking that button, if you did that on accident, there's a way to disable it through your cell phone. That's another thing that you can be doing. Always carry your cell phone. Make sure it's password protected, which is kind of counterintuitive, but if somebody gets your cell phone from you, you don't want them to have your personal information. And then make sure that you know an escape route. I know for open houses specifically, especially if it's not my listing, it would be important that I walk through that home and I know what the exit plans are in case I ever felt like there was a situation where I needed to get out of the house. But the same is to be said for showing a home. I really recommend letting other people lead and you follow, not letting people be behind you, and them kind of touring the house and you always having your back closest to the exit route. these are just a couple of little tips of things that you can be doing to keep yourself safe. I think in these times where mandatory masks are happening and people are covering their faces and we're meeting strangers, we do need to be a little bit more alerted to what's going on in the world and making sure that we're trusting our intuition while also doing a good job taking care of our clients. So again, this was not to put any kind of fear in anybody, but when an incident like Virginia happens, we then remember we need to keep safety at the forefront of our mind. And it's unfortunate that incidents like that are what have to remind us of this. Again, I will be posting about a safety class, and that safety class encompasses ways to keep yourself safe, but also to keep the home safe when you are listing. So I hope you all have a good day. Stay safe.